What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's dive into Smackdown for November the 17th, 2023. A pretty solid show for the most part. We got to see the further progression of Damage Control. We furthered the progression of LA Knight and the Bloodline. And we furthered the story of Santos Escobar turning his back on the LWO. So Smackdown was very solid. Very solid. So we kicked the show off with Damage Control. So Bayley gets on the mic. She runs down the crowd like she normally does. She said that Damage Control is the most dominant faction in all of WWE. She said that Damage Control is playing chess while when the rest of the idiots are playing in Candyland. She says Charlotte sucks, and then she says that Charlotte, Bianca, and Shotzi were not ready for Asuka. So then Dakota Kai gets on the mic, and she said that that Io was just saying something. This was the new and improved Damage Control because someone in this ring is not a part of the new and improved Damage Control. And then, so Dakota Kai says because Asuka's not a part of the group. And she reminds Bayley that that's her job. So Bayley says she's going to do the honors. She'll do the honors. And then she asks Asuka if she'll join Damage Control. And then Dakota Kai responds by saying, Io also said that you're going to love this idea. You're going to love it. She said that Damage Control, being Io, Asuka, and Kairi, are going to challenge Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi to find a fourth member for War Games. And then Bayley responds by saying, yeah, that's all I was going to say. You read my mind. War Games. We want War Games. 2 rings enclosed by a giant cage. And the 4 of us are going to dominate. And then out of nowhere, Shotzi starts attacking Damage Control. So there's a big brawl that breaks out between all the women. So Nick Aldis then comes out and tells Team Bianca that he needs to know who the 4th member will be by the end of the night. And then we see Cody Rhodes standing inside of Nick Aldis' office. Nice. So this is pretty cool. So I'm glad that we have the match official. The Women's War Games is officially set in place. So it should be good. Having a 4-on-4 is fine. And then I'm still sticking to my guns on the fact that Io, Asuka, and Kairi are going to turn their back on Bayley. They're going to beat her down and screw her over in the Women's War Game match. It's just going to happen. I think that would be a perfect story, if we're being honest. And that would turn Bayley face again. She hasn't been face in over 4 years, basically. She's not been face since the middle part of 2019. So basically 4 years, 4.5 years. So this is good. I enjoyed this. First match of the night was a triple threat tag team match. The winners will become the new number 1 contenders for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes. So the Street Profits, they get the win via the Revelation. Pretty fun match overall. And then post-match, Ridge Holland was kind of upset. So they might be splitting up the Brawling Brutes. I think that would make perfect sense if we're being honest. It's a boring faction because of Butch, a.k.a. Pete Dunne. I mean, I like his character work, but Butch just isn't that fucking good, you know? He's just not. And he's really going to be in for it when Charlie Dempsey, in a couple years, makes his debut on the main roster. Because he does that same style. It's just more believable and a lot better. But that's just me. So, moving on. This leads us into our second match of the night, which was Dragon Lee versus Axiom. So Nick Aldis made a call to Shawn Michaels, and I guess he brought up Axiom. Pretty decent little match. Typical work rate shit. So Dragon Lee wins with the Operation Dragon for the 1, 2, 3. Then, this is where the story broke out. So, Santos Escobar, he comes out. He says there's something he's got to say, something he's got to get off his chest. There's an old expression that says, "Never meet your heroes." And then he said, my family, all of them have been labeled heroes, but to me, like most of you, especially the little ones right here, my hero was Rey Mysterio. Santos says that he modeled and patterned his entire career based off of Rey Mysterio. And it was my wish to still... and that was his wish, that he could still be the next... part of the next generation that looked at him like he's the next Rey Mysterio. He said that Rey became a father figure to him. But then, after last week, he realized that Dominic was right. He said that he deserved to be U.S. champion, and who became the champion. I wanted to rebuild the LWO, who took over and brought in new members. New members like Carlito. Carlito, we were supposed to be like family. Familia. Rey, look at what you did. You decided to team up with an outsider like Carlito over me. And then he responds by saying, I know you're watching all this from your hospital bed. All this pain you're suffering right now, I hope it reminds you of how you made me feel when you betrayed me. And you were going to like this more. He said that, I thought I was going to come out here and apologize. Okay, I apologize. I apologize for not doing more damage. And Rey, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that the surgery doesn't go well. I hope you get an infection and have to amputate your leg. I hope you never come back. You're nothing but trash. I was like, damn. Ooh, that shit was fire. I love that. I was like, yo, Santos is that dude. I've been rocking with Santos for a while. Santos is that dude. He's that dude. So Zelina Vega, she comes out. Her and Santos start talking trash to one another. And then Zelina Vega slaps Santos and then dips out. And then Santos calls out Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. And he wants to know if they're with him or if they're going to be with the LWO. And then Santos attacks both members of the LWO. And then Carlito comes out to make the save. So this is great. I loved every minute of this. This was really, really good shit. Santos is such a good heel. Such a good heel. This is perfect. He got booed out of the building. This was great. I loved it. Now, I'm thinking the reason why he did this was because maybe they're going to bring in some new guys to kind of help Santos out. So that way it can be like a 3-on-3. You can do Carlito and Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro versus Santos Escobar and whoever else they can get, whether that be from NXT or if they bring in a couple of free agents or whatever, and take on the LWO that way. Also, we're going to get a match out of this at Survivor Series, Carlito versus Santos Escobar. Sign me up. I'm down for that. This is great. Hopefully we can get Rey and Santos at the Rumble. I think that would make perfect sense. Build that feud. So start it at the Royal Rumble. continue it going into the Elimination Chamber, and then end it at WrestleMania. So you could have Vega on the first one, and then the last two have Santos Escobar be the one to win the feud. So hopefully that's what they decide to do. Moving on. Grayson Waller versus Cameron Grimes. Grayson Waller gets the win via the flipping Unprettier for the 1-2-3, which is nice. He did a rolling flatliner, which was great. That should have been the finish. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, that's got to be the finish. There's no way. And then Cameron Grimes kicks out. I'm like, oh, shit. But that should have been the finish right there. But it is what it is. So I do like this. And Austin Theory was on commentary. So, Damage Control, moving on. They laid out Zelina Vega in the backstage area. Kevin Owens is going to be a special guest on the Grayson Waller Effect. Oh, my God. So, then we get Paul Heyman. He comes out. He puts over the Bloodline. He puts over Solo, utterly destroying John Cena. He said that John Cena can barely speak, and that's all thanks to Solo. And even if John Cena could speak right now, John Cena has so much hustle, loyalty, and respect, affirmation, and adoration for each and every single one of you. John Cena doesn't have the heart to say goodbye to the WWE Universe, so I will get to say the goodbye to John Cena, and I will get to say goodbye to you for John Cena. On behalf of your Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, on behalf of Jimmy Uso, and on behalf of Solo, John Cena, goodbye. 3, 2, 1. And then he mentions, like, the 5 moves of doom. He said that he's going to come out here and make the save, take out Jimmy, Solo, and him. He said, we all know that John Cena is John Cena 24/7, 365, except he can't communicate. So he's really not John Cena anymore. And it's all because of Solo. I love that. I love that. And then he also mentions that you won't see him in Hollywood. No place far, no place near. You can't see John Cena because John Cena won't be here. And that's all because of Solo. This was great. So, out comes LA Knight. He basically just says that he's not done with Roman Reigns yet. And he's going to go through Solo and Jimmy to make sure that he gets Roman again, as well as take out Paul Heyman. He said the only way that that can happen is if the Bloodline cease to exist, because he's going to make it that way. So, that was great. This leads us into LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. LA Knight gets the win. And then, post-match, Jimmy attacks LA Knight from behind. Solo delivers the Samoan Spike. Solo is about to put LA Knight through the announce table, but Cody Rhodes comes out and makes the save. And then Cody Rhodes throws Jimmy Uso into the steel steps. And then Cody and LA Knight, they stand tall, which was great. And then Nick Aldis, he tells Cody to leave the arena. So that was fun there. Closing segment of the evening. Charlotte Flair comes out, gets on the mic, and says that she couldn't get that fourth person. And then she said that, I know a thing or two about turning on best friends. There's a thin line between love and hate, but if we're going to war, then there's only one person I want by my side. And immediately I knew it's Becky Lynch. So Bayley comes out and says, we took down every girl you tried to have on your side, since you got nobody else on your phone because you're an idiot and you're a loser. You're not going to make it to War Games. Actually, not going to make it out of the building tonight. So Damage Control, they come out and they stare down Team Bianca. And Becky Lynch comes into the ring, and then they have a massive brawl, and that's how we close the show. So, pretty good stuff there. I'm fine with this. Becky Lynch is just there to add more star power to the match, really. You don't really need any more star power. Becky has no story or issue with damage control at all. There's just no need for her to even be in the match. I don't understand why that is the case. I guess it's just to have her on the card, I guess. I don't know. Who fucking knows? But SmackDown was decent for the most part. It was solid. It really was. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.